not even, where are you guys? Hold on.
We're live.
We're live.
Yep, we're live. Yep,
we're live, Katie. It's
sorry,
me
that
and
was
you.
all my fault, everybody.
This is the real deal. This is
Rhonda
what
was trying to be the participant.
Oh
She's
goodness.
a leader. She can't participate.
I gotta leave. I'll get Teresa in. Just
All right.
Okay, you guys go ahead. See you
Love
in a bit.
ya.
Bye-bye.
We're back on. Where were we? I know what it was. We were talking about St. Gertrude, which for me, I was just, I don't know that I've heard St. Gertrude even spoken about before, but that she is the patron. Have you heard of her?
I've heard of St. Francis of Assisi.
No, this one, St. Gertrude is the patron saint of cats and gardeners. And then to honor her today, you plant peas and onions, is what I learned.
Well, there you go. A hot tip from Nancy.
Peas and onions. And she's a cat protector. I should know that. So I'm a little behind on my saints, but sounds like somebody, maybe it was me before. It sounds like me, because I heard when she was 10 years old that she somebody wanted to marry her, and she said, I will not be marrying anybody. I will give myself over to God, and so it is.
And so it is.
So it is. And we're back in. Okay. Nina, she's all right. We're good.
We're good.
We're good, Katie.
Yeah, we're good and we're live.
All right. We're all the way live.
Better, right? You know.
Little excitement, and Mercury's not even retrograde yet.
We're in the shadow period.
Yeah, we are.
Like such a perfect example of like the energy dynamic that we are in, that we've been in, right? For how many years now? Like it's been several years. That
people, this reminds me of people who try to deny Mercury affecting them at all. It's like, really? Okay. So it is.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Well, we are actually today we are gathering to celebrate all good things, and the equinox, the spring equinox, is coming in on Tuesday, and that is a big day. Like I said, when I come on just 4 times a year, they're really big events, and so 3 of us are going to break it down for you, and depending on how we're doing on time, I would love to incorporate a biofeedback attunement so really get in perfect harmony with the highest octave of this incoming energy frequency. And then would love to take you all through a quantum jump meditation just to really put us in the future, see ourselves exactly where we want to be and make it happen, and then work backwards. Let's like do it easy, right? We're all tired of doing it hard. It's time to like do it easy. So yeah, I guess I'll get started, and I'm just going to do some basic covering, like all the energy that we're moving through, we're swimming through right now. But I know, Nancy, you've got a lot of astrology insight and background, so I would love to get your perspective too. And Teresa, you as well. You always have such a great eagle eye kind of ability to kind of see the big picture and the big vision. And so, yeah, let's all just have some fun with this. But like I said, yep, Tuesday is a big day. We have the spring equinox, and that also is the first day of spring. And we're moving into a whole new year astrologically. The new year, in nature, in the cosmos, does not start until the sun moves into Aries. And so we've got a lot of really big energy that's coming in. And I know a lot of you probably heard of, the equinoxes, but it's like, well, what are they really? The equinox, it's said, is the energy grid of the planet moves into a higher harmony on the equinox. It literally is the balance of all things. It's the day of the year where we have an equal amount of light and an equal amount of dark. And I know, like, we kind of just go through our lives and, just don't think too much about this kind of thing. But, many, many years ago, when we didn't have all the hustle and bustle, and people were so much more in tune with nature and the seasons and, the energy, they worship these events, because they realize the power that they have to bring balance. And if there's something strong enough that it's literally balancing day and night on our entire planet, like, what is that doing to us? We really have to remember that saying. What was that saying? Like, as above, so below. We look to the stars because we are made of stardust. Like, if we don't think what's going on in the universe is impacting us, direct message me and I'll break it all down for you in a scientific way. But it's a real thing. And so, it's really important to it's one thing to even know about these energies, but when we do things like this and we're coming together and we're talking about them and we're getting familiar with them, especially if we can do so like ahead of the energy, it gives you power. It gives you awareness, which is everything. So you go from like feeling like life is like beating you down and like stuff's coming at you from left field. Why is this happening? To like, right on time. Yeah. Okay. This is what we're working with, and so how can I work with it and move
working with that energy that's coming in? That's what's beautiful about this, to give you the heads up. This is coming now. Now let this assist you in what you're working with.
And it's validation too, because like a lot of us, like I noticed Nancy's always in tune with things. I notice I'm always feeling with these things ahead of time. So when we hear it and understand what's going on, it's like, that's why. Now it makes sense.
Yes. I love it. And you guys are in tune because you do the work of being aware, right? And of working with your energy on a regular basis. I just say that because I think all too often, so many of us will look at somebody like on YouTube or on TV or whatever. And we just think, oh my gosh, they must just have like special abilities or, whatever. But we don't see them off screen, right? They are devoted, to making themselves the best version that they can be. So there's always a starting point. And, if nothing else, let today's conversation, if you're listening, be your starting point for some inspiration. But this particular equinox that we're having on Tuesday, this energy is going to bring a huge amount of healing opportunity. The universe is really bringing in a lot of higher level light. As you guys know, we've had tremendous amount of solar activity, solar flares. Our planet is moving through, kind of a light storm out in the universe. There's just all kinds of ways. And what that does to our body, when you break things down, our DNA, it feeds off of light. That's what keeps us going. And, they say we're only operating at what, like 2% of our DNA. So think about this 98% that's just been, kind of laying dormant with all of this light and all of this shakeup and just everything that's happening on the planet. It's wanting us to awaken. And so in order to, become lighter, literally lighter, you have to let go of the density, right? And so we've got all of this Chiron energy that keeps kind of coming around and then coming around and then coming around. And I'll talk a little bit more about that. But Chiron always gives you an opportunity to do your deepest healing work. And that's forgiving yourself, right? Forgiving other people, letting that stuff go. It does not matter. In the end, trust me, none of it matters. So the more that you can just be, like we were talking about, aware of, and you'll probably notice, especially in relationships, some old childhood wounding patterns, coming to the surface where you're like, oh God, why do I keep doing that thing? Everybody's nodding their head. But it's coming up not to beat you down, not to, make you feel any kind of way. It's really coming up for your opportunity to see that part of you, to love that part of you the reason you're wounded is you never got love in that area. And so Chiron is just really giving you that opportunity to integrate, to heal, to lighten up so that you can hold more light. And the more light we hold, the more consciousness you have, the more in tune you are with subtle energy fields, the more sensory perception comes online. Like it's just like a domino effect, you know? So you want to lean in to this, you know, get your box of Kleenex out and just lean in, cry it out and let it go. Because once we get still, that's the key. Jen's coming in from Paris. She's tuning in all the way from Paris. Oh my God, it's so beautiful to have your energy with us, Jen. Suggestions for lighting up. Go to the top of the Eiffel Tower. Wave to all of us. Well, yeah, like I said, lightening up, healing right now is going to be your number one focus, just because of all the energy that is going to be supporting you. So it's going to feel easier to let go. Forgiveness, spending time out in the sunlight if you can. You know, sun gazing is a really amazing thing. But, you know, we've been taught our whole lives, like, don't look at the sun, you'll go blind, you know, and I get it. So they say if you're going to do sun gazing, your best time to do it is, you know, maybe 30 minutes, you know, upon sunrise and 30 minutes before sunset. But a lot of times what I'll do is, you know, instead of looking directly at the sun, you know, it's training you to kind of have a soft focus on life. Because what we try to do is we try to control things, right? And, you know, focus and all these things, but all the magic's happening in the peripheral, right? Anybody that has any kind of, you know, psychic abilities knows that. And so when you kind of, you know, look a little below the sun, just look at the rays coming off of the sun. And then you start to see that there's actual rainbow spectrum in each of the light rays. It's amazing, you know, and you start to kind of, you can see more and more and more, almost the less directly you look at it, if that makes sense. Do you guys do sun gazing?
I haven't for a while, but I used to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Here we don't see the sun until after it's already been past that 30 minutes because of the trees. And then it's the same when it goes down. It's the wrong timing.
Yeah, I live in the mountains, so I feel you. But I still will look at it. I consider my sunset like 20 minutes before it's going behind the trees. Because what do you do when you live in Seattle where it's gray all the time? You know, like, yeah, you adapt.
It's true.
So, yeah, whatever you can do. You can even moon gaze, you know, if for some reason you're not able to, you know, look at the sun. But thanks for asking, Jennifer, because yeah, it's important, you know, eating well, you know, doing anything to help your body, right? That's going to help you lighten up. You know, I love doing yin yoga, which is more of a soft, just stretching, you know, before I go to bed. You know, anything, music is going to help you lighten up. Yeah. See, Jen says she's done it and it's really helped. So I agree, Jen. It's amazing, especially with all the light coming in. So don't run from the light. Run to the light, I guess, is the takeaway there. And this particular equinox, it's represented by, it's bringing in a lot of violet energy, like the violet flame of, you know, transformation. We were talking about saints. Nancy mentioned a saint, Saint Germain who's associated with the violet flame energy. But it's really reminding us as we're moving into Aries. And Nancy, I'd love for you to, you know, maybe say a few words about Aries, because she's like, oh my God, like, I swear to God, half of your planets are in Aries. We bow down to you. But Aries is that energy of creation. And so this violet flame energy that is moving, you know, through us this next week or so is really like clearing. Again, this is all about clearing the space and the way for us to realize that, you know, it's no longer about giving your power away to somebody outside of yourself, like, you know, a boss or a job or, you know, whatever it is, a relationship, you know, for you to feel like magic is happening in your life and, you're creating the life that you desire. This is that full on Aries energy that takes the bull by the horns and says, I am in charge of my reality and I will choose every day over and over again. If you had a bad day yesterday, every day is a new beginning. I choose again and I'm creating, a good day. I'm going to choose to see, the beauty in today, the good in today, the laughter in today. Do you want to talk a little bit about the Aries energy, Nancy?
Well, for me, more than anything, this cycle period of time is getting ready.
Yes.
It's starting to churn. It's starting to churn. So get my specifics aligned, that what's coming next, what is feeling good, and what do we want to manifest in this program, and what do we want to let go of? Because that let go has really been coming up clear, especially the childhood, the old childhood stuff that also I've learned is maybe deposited in my body that I just need some assistance to help release some hands on. And that's something that's so important too. And especially we're coming in with the Aries energy, is remembering it's okay to ask for help. It's okay to ask for help.
Thank you, from an Aries. Thank you for saying that.
And this is something that has been accumulating and working toward. And it's like, okay. And then a practitioner came forward, local. And I haven't had hands-on work in a long time since we've gone through all the COVID stuff. Everything has been so, more working here than anything. And so that is a beautiful alignment that I truly appreciate. But that for me, more than it's the winding up. And man, as soon as that Aries goes into alignment, that arrow just,
wow,
it's going to, I know it.
It's true. I don't know if you mentioned it when we were live before or if it was when we were off air, but today actually, we've got such big Pisces energy in March, which like Nancy was saying, it's that, it's kind of like that dreamy energy, and so it's really about slowing down and really getting the dream that you want to see happen when the energy like propels forward. And actually today we have Neptune conjunct Pisces. So, it's like touching in the sky. And so that's really emphasizing, even though it's a party day, it's St. Patrick's Day, but don't be surprised if you feel a little like, I just want to kind of sit and be slow and, kind of daydream, just kind of, really get what you want. If anything were possible, the Pisces is anything is possible kind of energy, because this is the last month that we have all planets direct. So like Nancy had mentioned, once, things start to go retrograde, it's just, we've got kind of a different culmination of movement. So you can really take that energy and when you put it into kind of your dreams, your hopes, what you really want to see yourself create, then like she said, when we, kind of burst forward in that Aries energy, you're going to be focused. You're going to, it's not to say you can't take action, but you want to take aligned action. You want to have the universe, the wind at your back, you know what I mean? And moving you along and opening doors and stuff. So, you're just following your excitement. You're following what, your passion is, and you're going in that direction. And that's why when we do those things and we are in alignment, we go, wow, doors just opened up and I was in the right place at the right time. And this person just asked me for this, amazing opportunity. And, you just don't give it enough credit, that there's a way to work with the energy, not against the energy. And also, Mercury aligns with Chiron on the eclipse. We were talking about Mercury going into retrograde. And so that energy is really going to be showing you like questions to ask yourself, or, where are you stuck in old patterns, that need to be released? Because, when Mercury goes retrograde, that's a time, Mercury's our mind, to kind of go inward and do an inventory. And, these eclipses, we're a week out from eclipse season. And just like equinoxes, eclipses happen twice a year. They are game changers. Eclipses are very transformative energy. If you think about it, like, I think, they've done experiments, and it's almost like when eclipse happens, it's like everything has this, like, for a millisecond, everything's kind of stops and stands still. And then it's like, it all kind of shifts, it's like even animals in nature, they've watched and they kind of pause, and then they'll go, okay, and then, so eclipses really are here to kind of realign you with your path. And so the more you're off path, the bigger the shakeup you might find around the time of year where the eclipses happen. So this eclipse in particular is coming up on March 25th. So we're already in this eclipse energy. And this eclipse is going to kind of bring a sense of closure to your life. And it's in Libra. Your focus is probably going to be centered around a relationship or relationship dynamics. Maybe like you've got a relationship like we were talking about with all that Chiron energy, that you really are playing out the best version of yourself. You're playing out some kind of wounded dynamic that, you played out with your parents or, whatever in your whole life. And it's coming up to your awareness for you to go, okay, wait, is this really healthy? Do I really need to, continue to do this? Because it's not healthy for me. It's not healthy for them. With this eclipse being in Libra, it's like seeing things from a different perspective. It might be you're seeing yourself. It's not necessarily like, if you're not in a relationship, it doesn't have to be about the other person. You might just be seeing yourself kind of in a new light, so stuff is going to go, whoa, wow, I didn't even know I did that kind of stuff, and so now it's time for me to look at that. And now that I have a different perspective, like, what do I want to do from there, right? And how do I want to take that and grow? And it's interesting that the day of the eclipse, the literal day that we have the eclipse, is the day that Mercury goes into retrograde. So we start going inward, and it's also touching our North Node. And it's also touching Chiron. So I just want you to picture, like, if you close your eyes, like all of these planets lined up in the sky. And when you have like these, this is a lot. This is a lot of energy. It's like, you have to wonder, if people watch the movie The Matrix, or, like there is some kind of divine order or organization to all the chaos out there. And when you start to see some of these events happen, like what we're looking at, like the setup, where you've got all of this like purposely coming together, you have to kind of pause again, that eclipse energy, like pause, and that equinox energy, get still, and then, find that balance and that harmony from that, because you're really being given a lot of universal support. And, healing that Aries energy with Chiron, being in that Aries energy that we're moving into this new year with. And that's your willpower, that's your drive, that's that masculine energy that's like, let's go, I can conquer the world, like Nancy was talking about. And it's interesting too that the United States is getting majorly activated, because it's almost like this awakening type of energy. We are in April having the United States is having its Chiron return, which is like an opportunity to come full circle. And like, now what are you going to do with all the woundedness that's been created? Like, how are we going to go forward and hopefully use that in a healing way that heals us as a country? But that's happening the same day that Jupiter and Taurus are in conjunction. So again, like, kind of coming together. So you're gonna see what's blocking you from your destiny. This is really a good time to do shadow work. Again, you've got all this Chiron energy. Heal, release, let it go, so that you can ascend, so that you can, go around the wheel of the sun this year and be in a higher place than you ever were before. You don't be surprised if you don't have some big revelations come through during this time. Like, this is an opportunity when Jupiter comes in, it magnifies everything. So you guys can really make some big leaps forward in your consciousness, you know, in your awareness about yourself, about others, about life, about, you know, everything. And if you've got, you know, some inner child wounding come up, you know, you probably will. I would probably bet money on it, because I know I have already. It's already coming in. You guys are not in your head. So yeah. And like we talked before, this is just an opportunity for you, as you're the adult now. You can take that part and you can hold it and you can love it and you can say, you know, you're safe, and you can, you know, just release the pain and try to show that tiny wounded version of yourself, that eagle eye perspective, that 30,000 foot view that you're at now, that you've had all of this life experience come through, right? And you're not trying to bypass the pain. We don't want to do that, because that's what Chiron's all about. No, this is about real healing, like feeling your way through. So don't run away. You want to integrate those parts of yourself. You'll be able to become more powerful. And I'm just reading Jennifer's comment. Oh God, I love the Shar.
Katie, I wanted to add something too.
Yeah.
To also remember, for those of us who are in tune and working with the energy, there's a whole lot out there that are not aware. So remember that more than anything, especially with the big Aries flux. This is when you get like cut off on the road a lot, because it's me first. Okay, that's a big one that needs to come under. When you're in full Aries mode, it's get out of my way. And it can be very aggressive in that, especially when you're not aligned with it. So I know the difference, but that was also important to share, to be aware of that when you're around the others, because that is the energy, the mode they feel, but are not sure where it's coming from. So it's just an awareness time. And
thank you.
It's an awareness.
Yes. Yes. I'm so grateful that we've got Nancy with us today, and with all that Aries energy, because it's that manifesting energy, and it's like, get out of my way or you're going to get bumped off the road. And, you know, it's not intentional. I think that's what happens is, you know, people kind of go, well, who are you? Da, 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 da. But it's just, you know, think about if you had, you know, 5 cups of coffee, it could be like, woo, you know, I mean, it can be powerful, great energy. But yes, the more that we can like just communicate with other people, because then they know, like, and you know, you're not knocking them off the road. You know, it's more like, hey, this is where I'm going. This is what I'm doing. They can get out of your way, or they can get behind you and say, hey, that sounds awesome. I want to do that with you.
Beside me would be even better.
Beside you. Yes. Because what Aries is going to make it happen. Let's just say that. So you might as well, you want to get on their good side. I love it. And another interesting thing, we've got Pluto. Pluto's a biggie. Pluto's one of those big outer planets that doesn't mess around. Like when Pluto touches something, Pluto's energy it will change you. It will, you know, it's death, it's rebirth, it's transformation. It takes no prisoners. You know, it doesn't care what your excuses are. It's like, it's time to change. And boom, all of a sudden, you know, you're in it. And we've got Pluto turning into 1 degree of Aquarius. And so this is a really big turning point, because this turns everybody. It's like, yes, it's individual, but you're going to notice like everybody's going through this, feeling like they're really making a big shift, a big turn. And moving into Aquarius, this could bring something that you've been dreaming about for a long time. All of a sudden, with this Aries energy, it could manifest very, very quickly. The energy is here. Aquarius is about quantum leaps forward. It's an air energy, instead of before Pluto was in Capricorn. which is, earth. It's grounded. It's very solid. And, that's what we felt the last 20 years or so. Well, the next 20 years, you're already seeing it with AI. Now that we've turned, the corner into Aquarius, it's like 6 months from now, we're going to look back on this and we're going to be like, oh my God, that was forever. There's so much that's, happened. It's just the nature of the energy. So don't be surprised if you have some, big revelations, some big things manifesting in your life. And if you take the time, like today, beautiful day, we've got all this Neptune dreamy energy to really put, consciousness follows intent. Consciousness is energy. Science and quantum physics has proved this. And so that's why our thoughts are so important. We do not realize that when we think, we're actually putting energy behind it. It's like putting a battery into something, and turning the light bulb on. So, you can really take some big leaps forward in your consciousness. And then through the lens of human design, this is kind of interesting. I wanted to throw this in the mix while we're talking about Pluto, because we look to Pluto to see, like I said, real larger cycles of where humanity is going, the direction that humanity is going. And in 2027, we've got kind of different shifts going on, right, in the cosmos. And every about 400 or 500 years, we get a big change in the background frequency. It's just this low level, kind of electromagnetic type of energy that is influencing us. And it is, it lasts for, 500 years. So this is like the last time we had this shift, it was when we had the Industrial Revolution, and we really flipped into this time of science and medicine and advancements and going up into our mind, right? Well, in 2027, we shift again, and we shift into more of a emotional, going from the mind back down into the body, back down into realizing that when we do work on our energy, we do connect with our spiritual side, our highest self, which lives in a place of unlimited possibility. And we become self-actualized, where we merge that. So we're no longer, just down here, just doing our, little human thing. No, we're superhuman, and we're doing this through Pluto and Aquarius. It's showing us how. But everybody's been wondering and talking, for the last however many years, what's it going to be like in 2027? Like, what will that actually look like to us? It's just, we can't even put our minds around it, because as you've seen from 2020 till now, so many changes have to happen, right, for us to get to that point, to be where, the background frequency is ready to shift, and it already is shifting. So April 11th through May 24th, we're going to get a glimpse of this new energy, because we've got this little blip where Pluto, which is now in the 60th gate under human design and the I Ching. 60th gate energy is about limitation. That's why ever since, like especially 2020, like we've all felt very real, like feeling, limitation in a lot of ways on what we can do, on just, things kind of destabilizing, and breaking down because they're limited now. We need to grow. We need to move past that into this blip of time, these couple of weeks in April. Pluto is moving into imagination. Yeah. And it's just going to really give you this massive ability to really dream of what the future will be like. Actually, if you're tuned into subtle energy, don't be surprised. Mark this time on your calendar and tune into it, because it's going to give you a real good glimpse at what things are going to be like 3 or 4 years down the line. And we are going to get more and more into a place of where, we think something and we instantly create it. It's going to just be like, that imagination, right? Like that energetic, having so much light, holding so much consciousness and awareness that you are able to, quickly create and manifest. So all of this Aries energy, all of this stuff that's coming together right now is kind of really giving us this, little bite-size idea of what is possible. So you can be overwhelmed by it, or you can choose to embrace it and go, hey, let's go, And so I love that, we're talking about this today, and, just even talking about it is already organizing your field, right? There's particles, atoms, whatnot in any of our energetic fields. And so it's impacting you, even if you're not, having an active conversation on it. So yeah, before we get into, doing some of the biofeedback attunement in the quantum jump meditation, I just want to remind everybody, I might have mentioned it at the beginning of my talk, but, just the fact that we are receiving an unprecedented amount of electromagnetic activity with the, increased solar activity, people that attract, if you've heard of the Schumann resonance, that's the magnetism of the earth. The earth has, ley lines, and think about every minute, just think how many times the lightning, we get lightning strikes across the globe, right? And, all of this stuff affects, the earth's magnetic level, and we are electromagnetic beings, right? So when we walk on the earth, we're calibrated by this energy. And so when the more in tune you are, if you can take, barefoot walks out in nature or whatever, because they've shown that there's ley lines that go in, that run through the earth, that actually calibrate our heart and our mind. That's where our electromagnetic energy, when we, emit electromagnetic energy, it's emitted from our hearts and our minds mostly. And so, we're literally being recalibrated, to hold more light, to hold, more active DNA. So we're in this time, we all know, like, we feel like we're shifting in a big way. And I just want people to know, it's like, yes, everything you see happening outwardly, that's shifting and changing, that's also happening inwardly. Our nervous systems are having to calibrate to a whole new level of, incoming energy. All these things are happening. So give yourself some grace, give yourself some space. Do not be surprised, especially with this Aquarian energy, if, this year your anxiety's revved up. You got to set up for depression. If, you're not, it can be really easy to get very overwhelmed with all of this incoming energy. So I want to bring it to the surface. So again, when this happens, it might not always even be you. It might just be, external energy coming in. You can always check to see, was there solar flare activity today? You would, when we have big solar flares, they actually will take down radio communication in certain, areas. So, again, if it's doing that, what's it doing, to you? And I'm not saying this in any way to make anybody afraid. It's like, don't resist it, let it in, but work with it and allow your body to, maintain, balance. This is what we're talking about today. The more you can take time to be still and, create like an equilibrium, then, as you are getting these upgrades and these shifts, it's going to be healing. It's going to be up leveling. It's going to be synchronizing, with the power of, the universe, right? Did you guys have anything to add about that?
I don't.
I was just thinking with the Aquarius energy, with that influence, I'm hearing a lot of breaking free.
Yes.
I think of that. I just keep seeing this, like busting out from chains and anything holding on. This was a reminder of when I worked in nursing, when the moon was in Aquarius. That's when they would break out their IV lines. Patients would pull out IVs and catheters and take off down the hall. And that was, one of those check marks that I would make note of, that it's going to be an adventure next couple nights. And that influence of that energy, that breaking free, that freedom, I always think of that influence. So it can be, that it can be a big shift with that energy on so many levels, but definitely anything holding back that no longer serves is a big busting free time.
That's incredible. Isn't that amazing? Wow, to see this is what we're talking about. Like a lot of times when we have, conversations about energy and astrology or whatever, it seems so woo-woo. It seems so like, oh, I don't know, does that really happen? But the fact that you as a nurse could sit there and like watch the pattern and the people that were ripping their IVs out, they didn't know what day it was, or they're just responding to their primal instincts. That is
semi-unconscious, and just know something is keeping them from getting out of bed. Something is in their way, and unconsciously ripping things out. And sometimes it looked like a horror story for me to walk into, but
oh my God,
imagine.
Yeah, it was a memory that still sticks in my head. All the influences over the years, and that's one that still has a little check mark of, oh my God. It was early in my career too, early in my nursing career. So it's quite just a memory. But anyway, one, like I said, to always just take note of that influence is very much affecting others. So it's important. It's important that we just know, be aware, just being aware.
Yes, Jennifer, that had nothing to do. Was not you at all. No, blame it on the energy. Anything that happens at 3 a.m., there's a story. There's a backstory. I have no doubt. Oh my God, you're cracking me up today. I love it. Well, let's do this, ladies. Let's go ahead and I work with quantum biofeedback, like I mentioned before. And so I'd like to do a little attunement. We'll just do like maybe a 3-minute attunement just to kind of, help everybody get into a beautiful space for our quantum jump meditation. And I want you to, as you're listening, this is about you just get to sit back and receive. There's nothing for you to do. In fact, it's the opposite. The more you can just, if you want to close your eyes and just concentrate on your heart space, the more you can open up your heart and just let these frequencies in, the better you will be served. And if you focus on anything, just focus on letting this sound move through your body and just cleanse and release every cell. Like Nancy was talking about, just letting, the freedom of what no longer needs to be there, letting that all go. And, breathing on the exhale, breathing out what no longer supports you, and holding the highest version of yourself in your mind, because, everything breaks down to frequency. And I love Albert Einstein. The man was amazing, and he said, match your frequency to what you desire, and you can't help but attract it and attain it, because it's just physics. It's just basic science, So what this attunement does is it works with hertz and rife frequencies, and I've got 100 frequencies in here that are really all about cleansing your auric field with that Chiron energy supporting us, so we can really clear that ourselves out, clear out any stagnant energy, and recalibrate ourselves to a higher octave of being. So this is going to help you focus on what you want to attract more in life, especially as, like I said, we're in this beautiful conjunction today of Pisces and Neptune energy. So we can reach across the veil and grab our future, selves and bring it forward and live our best life. Doesn't everybody want that? All right. So I'll stop talking. And like I said, close your eyes and just go inward. And I will turn this on for 3 minutes. If you can't hear it for some reason, just let me know. nice deep breath before you open your eyes, just letting all the energy settle as deeply into your being as you possibly can. How did that feel? Oh, Teresa, she's like, I took that in deep. That's good. That's a good sign to yawn. I love it.
That's good.
Yeah.
Nice.
I love the frequencies. I get so many great visuals and
Oh,
a lot
nice.
going on. That started with a big shift. Whoa, that threw me back for a second.
Wow. I love it. I love it. Well, that's what's happening.
It is. I'm telling you, it was
Way to
it was adjust, and then it was okay. All right, we're good.
I thank you for sharing that. You have such good, you're able to like translate, right, the energetic world, into words very well. Fastest 3 minutes ever. I know, it always goes by so dang quick. Well, you're gonna love this, Jen. Next, I'd like to just take us all through just a short 10-minute, or so quantum jump meditation. And basically, I'm just going to take you into a light, kind of a deep light hypnosis, deep meditative state, going into the alpha brainwave state. When we're in the alpha brainwave state, we are able to it's that soft focus. Okay. So you tend to be very relaxed and you're able to kind of focus on one thing instead of right now we're in beta, where you're taking in, everything that's going on. You're very, wide awake and alert. Oh, I love that your heart is on fire. Oh my God, that's such great Aries energy. Like, yes, take those dreams and desires and then spring forward. Literally, we're springing forward. Thank you for sharing that. And then, yes, we will be basically I'm going to take you to a transit door. And I just want you to, again, this is a great day to do this with the, Pisces and Neptune conjunction. But just go into your imagination and just imagine that there are an infinite number of realities out there. And there's an infinite number of twin yous. They call them doppelgangers. Like, I mean, have we all had, a couple times where people have come up to us and said, oh my God, you look exactly like you could be this person's twin. And you're like, I don't know, but there are alternate versions of ourselves in other, realities having, completely different lives based on completely different choices that they've made. So you can go into, the Pisces Neptune where, open the door and you jump into another reality and be able to witness yourself. Like maybe you always wanted to learn how to play piano. So you can go in and quantum jump to a version of yourself that is a concert pianist. That's just what they ended up doing. And then you're able to kind of witness them and merge with them. Do you have a question?
Yeah, Katie, I don't know how much this applies, but I think there's a time limit for when Rhonda tries to make this go into the videos.
That's right. So
coming up to that, but I don't know if that only applies to pre-recording or if it applies to us too. But I'm just noticing.
It does apply to us. And it's at 60 minutes, right?
Yeah. So we got 10 minutes left.
Okay. We'll try to do it, a little condensed, and you guys can always holler at, if I'm involved and you're like, wait, we only have a minute. Let's wrap it up. But let's go ahead and just start to relax, start to take some nice deep breaths. And I want you on this next exhale, I want you to mentally repeat and visualize the number 3 times. And each time you see it, it's getting smaller and softer. And I want you to take another deep breath in. And as you exhale, mentally repeat and visualize the number 2 3 times. Take one more deep breath in. And as you exhale, I want you to mentally repeat and visualize the number 1 3 times. And to help you enter the alpha level of mind, I'm going to count from 10 to 1. And on each descending number, I want you to feel yourself going inward and feel yourself entering a pleasant meditation level of mind. 10, 9, you're going deeper. 8, 7, 6, deeper and deeper. 5, 4, 3, and deeper. 2, 1. You're now at a pleasant level of mind where you're able to concentrate fully on one subject. And at this time, just concentrate on my words and know and repeat in your mind, say every day in every way, I'm getting better and better. And as you say this, I want you to sense yourself improving in all areas of your life. Just sense yourself getting better and better. I want you to relax. Just relax your eyes, relax your jaw, relax your body, relax your legs and feet. And I want you to repeat, my body rests and refreshes itself when I consciously relax. I am relaxed now. And you can repeat mentally after me. Every day, my image of myself improves. Every day, my image of myself gets better. And now you're as comfortable as you can possibly be. And I want you, as you are sitting in stillness, and I want you to have your mouth closed. I want you to touch the roof of your mouth with the tip of your tongue, just behind your 2 front teeth, and hold it there while I count from 1 to 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, you can release your tongue now. Touching the tip of your tongue to the roof of your mouth is a way to incorporate an ancient yogic pinpoint of energy that it allows your mind to pay attention and know that something's about to happen. And so you can use that point anytime you want to call in something into your life. And for right now, I want you to think about how there are many choices that can appear in your life. Some of them are clear, and some of them are just guesswork and just made spontaneously when you're relaxed and stress-free like you are now. Inspiration often helps you to make the right choice, the choice that you will be happy with later on in life. And many of the choices that you do make will have an effect on your attitude. Like, for example, if you go out to your car today and you discover a dent in the fender that wasn't there before, now you have choices. You can get angry, and then your attitude will be that of a negative nature, and you'll see everything from a negative viewpoint. Or you can look at that dent and just determine that you're going to earn twice as much money as it costs to fix the dent. The two mindsets are, one is anger that causes all kinds of physical problems, some of them not even coming forward for months or years, to determination and creativity with the second choice. You're determined to set your mind to earning twice as much as it costs to repair the fender. And all things in life are like that. Some of them produce negative results, and some of them produce positive results, all due to your attitude. So during this jump, you're going to go into a twin self who has a positive attitude about all things. What if you had a positive attitude about all things? Just think, what would that be like if everything you saw was a solution instead of a problem? In one of the infinite number of universes, that totally positive self of yours exists. That positive attitude, you is your doppelganger or your twin self. And in a moment, we're going to go down a small hallway that contains a transit door. And on the other side of that door are all the universes and all the twin selves of infinity. On the other side of that door is your ideal you with a perfect positive attitude towards all things. Everything always works out for you. In a moment, I'm going to count down from 1 to 3. And at that count, you'll be at the transit door. And that door will be opening. And it's going to be a jumping off place to get you wherever your intent directs you to go. And one of the universes that you decide to go to, you're going to see how you took a different path. And the incidents of your past that are causing you problems now had a different conclusion. And one of those universes, the positive conclusion, and it can be anything that you can imagine, is one of the infinite number of dimensions now available to you on the other side of that door. So when you go through that door, I just want you to observe your twin self. And I want you to be with that twin self's mindset that you want for yourself, that attitude that everything always works out for you and there's nothing to fear. You're lucky, you're resilient, and you have everything you need before you even know you need it. So you're going to imagine now, as I count down, the door opening. 1, 2, 3. And now the door is open. Jump through the threshold and see your twin self. And just take your time and observe and watch your twin self making positive choices and seeking solutions like you'd like to do. And see your twin self walking and talking, having a positive attitude towards everything. All of your twin self's choices are based on a positive mindset that everything works out beautifully. I want you to just see yourself now coming up behind your twin self and merging with your twin self's energy and feeling the new positive rhythm that you want. Get a sense of the decisions that you're now going to make with this new energy. That's good. And now I'm going to count from 1 to 3, and you'll be back on this side of the transit door, back in this dimension.
We have less than a minute.
1, 2, 3. Now you're back in this dimension. I'm going to count to 3, and you're going to open your eyes wide awake, feeling better than ever. 1, 2, 3. Eyes open, wide awake, feeling refreshed, and you've jumped into a whole new you with 30 seconds left. Thank you all. Thank you all so much with us today. Happy equinox. Enjoy the eclipses. And I can't wait for us all to get together again and talk about our magical experiences.
Is Nina there to hit the banner one more time?